Oh, I didn't see you there. Sorry, that was really lame. Today I'm here to show you my European-inspired build. It's going to be a little canal, and here are my inspiration photos for reference. Alright, let's jump into it. By the way, I'm quite proud of how this build turned out, so if you were going to replicate any build on my channel, this would be the one I would recommend. Here I am showing you where it's going to go. And naturally, the first step in building a canal is to form a canal. So I used my pre-existing river originating from the left river mouth on my island and went ahead and just had this be the canal. River terraforming is such a faff in this game. It's like my least favorite thing. And then Kiki was like, yeah, I'm gonna make it even worse. I'm just gonna make this take even longer for you. Luckily, she didn't sit there too long, so I was able to fill in that patch. Alright, so that's as far down as I took the canal. And then it took me a little while to get the shape of the canal correctly up here, because it looked a bit unnatural. And of course, I struggled big time with river terraforming. Why is it so difficult? I feel like it should be a bit more intuitive, unless I'm the problem. Maybe I'm just not intuitive enough, but it's so hard for me to figure out. And then I realized that the river wasn't wide enough for me to put bridges on, so I had to widen it. And then once I was happy with that, I put down my custom path and then put the vanilla paths around it so that I could decide which color scheme I liked the best. And then I started putting my custom paths down. All of the creator codes used in this build will be in the description. Okay, so this area on the right over here is where I decided to put a lane of trees surrounded by paths. As you can probably guess, I end up changing this path, because I'm not happy with how it looks in the end. I think that the cool tones in this gray just really don't go with my custom path very well. And I actually end up having to move this all the way over to the left, just one block, which is a real pain in the rear because I'd already put the trees down, so I had to eat a bunch of cherries in order to move them. But at least by then I had decided that I wanted to change the stone path out, so you'll see me shift that over here in a little bit. I think I put some custom paths down first. So you can see the border that I put here. So I already had it in my head. I was like, ugh, I'm gonna have to move that over one because that's too far to the right. Because when you pan up with the camera, you couldn't see enough of the canal and enough of the tree lane, which is something I really should have figured out from the get-go. Then I tried to do some yoga with Tasha, and she was not having it. She literally just walked off. She could not be bothered doing yoga with me. I was very sad. So here I am showing you me shifting over the tree lane one, and changing the stone to dirt. And naturally, I had to put all the trees back. Okay, so that's the final spacing for the right side of the canal, and I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. So then I just get to work on the left side. And for symmetry's sake, I use the same number of custom paths on the left as I do on the right. You can see me double checking there to make sure I've got the width right. All right, and that's the custom paths that I use. And then once I was done, I tried to do yoga with Tasha again because I kept catching her in the plaza. But again, she was having none of it. Here's me showing you how it looks with the camera panned up. And then I tried again. I caught her again. And look at her. She's like, all right, I'll allow it this time. All right, so this is once I had placed the brick bridges. And naturally, they deleted my paths, so I had to go in and fix them. And here's how it looks. Doesn't that look nice? Okay, so here I am. You can't see that it's country fencing, but just take my word for it. I'm putting country fencing in between the trees and at the edges. And then for in front of the trees, I put some hedges. And then I decided, since I had ended up using dirt paths, for the empty spaces here, I could put some white roses. And I'm really happy with how this turned out. Look at it. It looks so nice. And then look up there. Look up to the left. Chief? Okay. Daisy the other day was like, can you take a gift to Chief? You know, we caught them canoodling and role-playing at Chief's house the other day. And she gave him this marathon tank top. I don't know what it's called, but I was like, oh, I hope he never wears it. But now he wears it all the time. It drives me nuts, and there's nothing I can do about it. But honestly, I guess it's fitting, because he is like the 40-year-old dad of the island. We gave him 40-year-old dad core for his yard. So I don't know. Dads during midlife crises, they sometimes get into running, right? I don't know. I guess it works, but it's just, he's my beautiful, fashionable chief, and I was not happy that he wears that now. It's just, it's awful. Anyways, here I am putting down some brick paths for what is going to be like where the food stalls go. I wanted those to be on a different path to kind of separate them from the rest of the build. I don't really know what I'm saying, but here's a montage of me decorating, and you'll see. It all comes together, and it really won't make sense if I try to explain what I'm doing. And then Chief wanted to give Daisy something. And I'm like, you guys need to be a little bit more discreet. See how the little shopping areas are kind of separate from the rest of the path? I really like how that looks. Hopefully that was a better explanation than whatever I was spewing before. And then I just planted some flowers as a little finishing touch. And I was done. Here I am just showing you around the build. I'm really happy with how this turned out. I think it's really cute. It reminds me of when I was in Stockholm a couple years ago. Correct me if I'm wrong, it's been a while and my memory's quite bad, but it seems a bit Swedish to me, which is fitting for Fika. I'm normally pretty hard on myself when it comes to building stuff, but I like this one. Okay, I'll stop saying that and I will leave you there. So I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Bye!